www.makingblackpages.com.
You know, I like to begin my interviews on education with a banner that I saw one time that says, "If you can read this, thank a teacher." And what that does is it shows and emphasizes the importance of education. And really today, with the advent of technology and robots and things of that nature, education is becoming more important on a daily basis. I remember the time when farmers would not let their kids, keep them out of school half of the year because they had to plow and dig and things of that nature. Well, that has changed, which means and which suggests that, you know, in order to be successful in today's society, one needs to be educated. And it should not just be people with a lot of money. You know, everybody deserves, I just got through talking about health care. Well, really, everybody deserves, in my opinion, an opportunity to become better educated. This is a call to action.
A call to action.
I'm your host, Alex Habersham, and I have with me today Dr. Craig Jackson, who's the Vice President of Central Georgia Technical College, which is an institution that's playing a phenomenal role in expanding and generating and providing education for individuals throughout the community, both young and old, believe it or not. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we just welcome you. Thanks for coming. And first of all, just tell us a little bit about yourself personally.
Thank you so much. First, it's just an opportunity. I'm just so grateful for the opportunity to come and just share with you and for being around in Miller, Georgia for now some 30 years. But me, I'm actually from North Georgia. I grew up in Dalton, Georgia. You may know that as the corporate capital of the world.
Yes, I do.
Grew up in Dalton, then I went all the way south to Valdosta State, then transferred there and graduated from Albany State.
Okay.
Then ended up in Miller, Georgia.
Okay.
So now I've been here ever since. I'm part of this community. Then I went to got my MBA at Wesleyan. Then went on to get the doctorate at Liberty University. Married to the lovely Dr. Travian Jackson as well.
You want to go home tonight?
Yeah, I have to mention that, and I would be remiss. We have a brand new grandbaby.
Oh, congratulations.
5 months old, little Isaiah. So,
okay.
That's a pleasure. But yeah, just my mother lives in Peachtree City. I'm the oldest of three boys, and education was something that my parents instilled in me at a very, very young age.
Well, I think you reflected that because you've been in education for a minute now.
Yes.
And I've watched you, and I know the role that you play. Well, talk about, as the Vice President of Central Georgia Technical College. Well, first of all, talk about, well, we can reverse them. Talk about your role as Vice President.
My role, I'm actually Vice President of Student Affairs,
okay.
Which is one of our major courses. You have Vice President of Academic Affairs. Then Student Affairs will be that next largest unit. I oversee all of the support services for the college. That includes the admission and financial aid, career services, advising. We even have campus life. We have athletics. A lot of people don't know that. We have the athletics program as well, food services, all that, communications, call center, all of that is included with that special population, our counseling department, all that is rolled up under student affairs. So anything that supports students while they're there, pretty much oversee.
Yeah. Okay, now when you said student affairs, how many students, how is Central Georgia Tech doing student-wise now?
Student-wise, we're doing right. We are right at a little over 8,000 students.
Wow.
During the fall. This past year, we as a total year, we brought in right at 12,000 students. But we actually service now, and when I say students, those are credit students. Those are students that are taking a course of credit. But as far as students that are impacted in this community, we serve right at 24,000 students, because that includes adult ed. We have an adult ed program as well, plus economic development.
Okay, let's put a pin in that. Talk a little bit about adult ed, because I think it's important.
It is.
You know, because that serves a role, kind of like that's a vacuum in our community. Because you can talk about this, but it's my understanding that there are jobs.
Yes.
There are jobs in Central Georgia. A lot of people say, I can't find no job. But it's my understanding that that's not necessarily true. And it's my understanding, because my name ain't Dr. Jackson, it's my understanding that there are resources available to prepare anybody out there who is anyone who is really serious about being gainfully employed. Well, sometimes you have to be educated to get a job. But, so talk about how that education is available.
That is true. It's just a desire. Number one, you have to have a desire to want to work. That's the first thing. But with our Adult Ed program, that's run by, we have a vice president for Adult Ed. That's how serious we take it. Ms. Brenda Brown oversees that program. We graduated a little over 800 students with GEDs just this past year.
Oh, wow.
Serviced more than 2,000 students. But our GED program is very unique. It doesn't cost a dime, number one. So if you just dropped out, whether you're young, old, it doesn't make a difference. You can come to us and get your GED and not pay not one dime. Now we've added a twist to that now, because, like you said about the workforce, there are a lot of jobs that require just certificates, just a certificate that you can at least start making some money. We have now dual enrollment is very popular. If you notice, a lot of high school students that will take while they're in high school, they're also taking college credit courses. We've opened up an avenue now where while you're working on your GED, you can also take some classes for certificate program that account for a certificate, so you can get some college credit and get a certificate while you work on your GED, which that certificate can lead to a job.
Now, what kind of certification, if you can kind of halfway remember off of the top of your head, because I know there are so many, like in the medical field, in the technical field.
Yeah, CNA, of course, cosmetology, barbering, those type certificates that you have. We have some what we call our trading industry as well, where you can receive certificates, programs that can at least get you started.
Electrical, heating and air and all that?
HVAC, welding, those type things.
Wow.
So there are a lot of, speaking of welding is so much in demand. We have a lot of students that actually start off in welding before they can finish the program, they're getting hired.
Oh, man.
So
now you telling me that a person who got the desire, I heard you say that.
Right, that's key.
I heard you say that. You said it twice, so I guess you mean it.
Yeah.
But a person who has the desire could be, trying to find a job and kind of concerned about his or her future, or got a baby coming or what have you.
Right.
Then they could reach out to Central Georgia Tech and then generate a skill and get involved in a skill that will help them make more than minimum wage.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And on top of that, we have a career services unit, which is part of student affairs as well, that will help you and lead you and guide you to we have a lot of industries and employers that will send us, like, I'm looking for this particular type person, or someone in business, someone in healthcare, someone in industrial system, someone in HVAC. They're looking for those, and they send them to us, and we can say, hey, we can get them to you. A good example, 2 days ago, we had a career fair on our Macon campus. The base was there, Kumo was there. The base hired 54 people on the spot.
On the spot.
On the spot.
Yeah. Wow, that's absolutely phenomenal.
So
and it's my understanding that the base is looking for a lot of folks.
They are. They're going through some transitions as well, and of course we work well with them on our Warner Robins campus with our aviation maintenance and.
Teaching folks how to fix airplanes?
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So.
And the reason, I'm just blown away. And then I'm going to ask, and we'll talk about something else in a minute, but I'm going to ask the public's assistance, because, I know you see people on the street. We got nephews and cousins and grandchildren and children,
Yes.
and people in the neighborhood, who need a job, and some of whom are not familiar with the resources that are available. And the point that I'm trying to make is that through Central Georgia Technical College, then I think that if they got the desire now,
That's key. That's key.
but I think that if one has a desire through your institution, that he or she can have access to a lot of training and education and skills and opportunities.
And let me just show you the span of it, because when people say Central Georgia Tech, a lot of people think, okay, well that's Macon and maybe Warner Robins, but we service 11 counties throughout Middle Georgia. We have 3 full campuses. That's our Warner Robins campus, which is the main campus. Full campus. Warner Robins is the main campus. Macon is, of course, a full campus, and Milledgeville has a full campus there. Then we have several centers: Pulaski County, and Hawkinsville, Peach County, Crawford County, Monroe County, Eaton, as far north as Putnam, and also in Jones County. So where we work with that community, and each community, of course, have different needs. So we try to make sure that we're in all those communities and we can provide the assistance that all these people who have the desire can come through and make some things happen, change some things in their lives and for their family lives.
We're going to talk about, we're going to take a break, but when we come back, we're going to talk about that phenomenal Vector Center, and I don't know what it means, but I know what it does because I had the opportunity with Dr. Allen, your president,
Right.
to visit it, and he graciously took me through that whole center and through some other of the ended nursing program and all of that.
Yes.
You can talk about that in just a minute. But right now we're going to take a quick break. This is a call to action.
A call to
I'm
action.
your host, Alex Haversham, interviewing Dr. Craig Jackson, Vice President of Central Georgia Technical College. We'll be right back.
As you transition out of your military career, there are a number of decisions to be made, including where to live, choosing the right career path, and what steps to take to receive the education, job training, and any additional help you may need.
You spend 20 years in uniform, then it's time to get back to civilian life. It was a little difficult for me to lay that chapter of my life down and move on because I'd done it for so long. And I'm sure a lot of vets can understand that.
The state of Georgia has made creating these opportunities and support for our veterans a top priority. From the diverse culture, landscape, and top-ranked education and training programs, to the low cost of living and affordable housing that makes raising a family easy, Georgia offers a quality of life that your service to our country has earned.
I came to Georgia with the U.S. Air Force, so I was assigned here for 2 assignments on Robins Air Force Base, and to be honest, this was the only place that felt like home.
Within a few hours' drive, you'll find Atlanta's major league sports teams, music, arts and cuisine, quaint towns among the scenic ranges of the Blue Ridge Mountains, and relaxing coastal cities along the Atlantic.
The quality of life here is absolutely amazing.
Our workforce employs more than 6 million people, and whether it's a Fortune 500 company or a small business, employers across the state know the value of hiring servicemen and women who bring their discipline, skill, and integrity to the civilian workforce.
Georgia has what's called a high demand career list. Simply what that means is that there are more job opportunities out there in these fields than there are people to fill those jobs.
Through a number of nationally recognized statewide programs, Georgia works to train, educate, and connect our veterans who seek civilian careers with the right employers that recognize the benefits of hiring those with military training and experience. This effort has led to the creation of over 275,000 jobs for veterans in a wide range of industries, including advanced manufacturing, agribusiness, IT, logistics, defense, automotive, film, and aerospace.
We need people who are adaptable, who are creative, and who are resilient. And I can't think of a better population of people who demonstrate that than our military.
It's a smart business decision to hire veterans. The way that they're able to grow and be, just have a certain level of grit.
Aside from the beautiful landscape, thriving economy, and overall quality of life, our education system has made it a focus to help you match your skills with the right career. Georgia is home to 26 higher education institutions and 22 technical colleges. A main feature of the technical college system of Georgia is the nation's #1 workforce training program, Georgia Quick Start. Designed with veterans like you in mind, this program has created thousands of jobs within Georgia's most sought-after industries.
Georgia itself has amazing benefits. When you talk about the HOPE grant, the HOPE Career Grant, you talk about the HOPE Scholarship for your high schooler students, you talk about the State Workforce Board and the educational benefits that are available to veterans through that program as well. Those are amazing benefits.
I wish a facility like this had been built 20 years ago. They've really been a lifeline for me personally, for job placement, resources, maybe financial, when times are tough. I owe the Vector Center a great deal of gratitude.
Making the transition from military service to civilian life can be a challenge, but the state of Georgia is here to help. Use the resources, funding, and programs we've put into place to kickstart and develop a fulfilling career and an enjoyable life, made possible by the servicemen and women like you who have served our nation with such honor. We thank you for your service and would be proud to have you call Georgia home.
I'm so excited about talking about all these programs that are available at Central Georgia Technical College, because I'm one who believes very strongly in the community, and I know that it takes employment and education, and that helps to uplift our community. And then we would be remiss if we didn't emphasize and support the resources that contribute positively to employment and resources that are in our community. And I want to talk about, how you have a relationship with the high schools. I mean, what happens with that?
Yeah, we have a very aggressive dual enrollment program. Matter of fact, one of the best in the state, one of the largest. We have over 1,700 students that are dual enrolled. I mean, they're high school students, but they also take class with us.
Wow.
And most of them they're on two different tracks. You have those that are strictly taking what we call core classes. They know that they're going off to college, to a four-year college university when they finish. So they're trying to get the English, the math, the history, psychology in. But then you have a group that's like, I'm really not even feeling high school, but I do like working on cars. I do like industrial systems. I do like HVAC, heating and air, and those type things. So you have a group of those that are taking our trade and industry classes as well while they're in high school as well. So that is a very, of course, popular program. And I think parents have finally figured out too that they can save a little money on that. Because if the kids are going off to college, that's 2 years that, again, they're not paying for. Or some classes they can
by
take.
Taking some classes
while
they're here. And that's also important because, talk a little bit about this, Dr. Jackson. They used to, people used to be kind of ashamed or embarrassed for not taking college credits or getting a BS and all that. Talk about how it's just as a look. I tell you this much. I tell my students that a plumber makes more than a principal. So talk about the advantage of going into getting a trade and things like that. Even if you don't go to college, everybody doesn't have to go to college.
I think that stigma is changing. It's been taking years for that because in the past, as they call it, the trade school or the VOTEC school was for those that, number one, couldn't go off to college because they weren't, quote, smart enough. I think now we have people, students coming out. Georgia Power hired a young man, I think a year or so ago from our program, and he started out making $65,000, right at $70,000. I don't know too many people coming out with a 4-year degree.
Start out
making that. I know I didn't.
Yes.
So
that make two of us.
So I think it is. I think the key is that we as a society have to understand is that as long as a person is making a honorable, decent living, it doesn't make a difference what they're doing, whether they're blue collar or white collar. Because it's all important. Because trust me, the white collar guy needs that plumber.
That's right.
Needs that HVAC. Now that the weather's changed, trust me, that heat's not working.
Yes, sir.
You call him over there, you're going to pay him.
Yes, sir.
So I think that's the thing that we have to understand, that the importance of just being a vital citizen in our community. And that's doing that. And one other thing I want to mention before we move on, because it's something that we do that we're very proud of, and some of the schools across the state kind of shied away from this, but we take pride in it. We also have an incarcerated population that we service as well. We have right at 500 incarcerated students now, inmates, right now, that we're working with, that are part of our program. We issued a little right at 700 or so certificates for
Wow.
inmates.
Now, how do they take it?
This past year? We have instructors on the prison, and that's all
Going to the prison?
throughout the state, right? To do that.
Wow.
Because you think about it, they're there, right? But at some point they're gonna get out.
That's it.
I want them to come out
With a job.
skill set, so that they can find something
Yeah.
to do, so they won't go back.
That's it.
Also, when me and my family walking down the street, they won't be thinking twice about, okay, do I take them out?
Right.
But I can't find
Right. Can't find a job. Yeah.
Right. So we're proud of that, man.
Yeah,
We do a good job.
I'm proud of it too, and that's for no matter of fact. I teach out of Central State, and you're gonna be my
Right.
guest speaker tomorrow because we'll graduate 35. But it's good to know, and I'm sure you'll mention that in your delivery. So now let's go to something that's we talked about the kids, we talked about the community, but let's talk about another entity that's a part of Central Georgia Tech, and that's veterans. You know, I mean, there's been a lot of conversation about veterans, and I just feel, you know, that we owe it to, you know, people who served their country. And I think that President Allen played a major role in the implementation and development of this entity. Talk about that.
Dr. Allen is a very modest man, but a brilliant man. He did a excellent job. He, along with a couple of the partners, I said partners. One is another one, our vice president, executive vice president, Mr. Scruggs. Just start talking about it, because being in Warner Robins, of course, you're around veterans and around the base and what we need to do to try to help out veterans. So it just started off as a dream, but a dream through Dr. Allen's leadership that has come to fruition. Now you have people from other states that are coming to see what can we do to emulate this. Now the thing is that it's Vector at Central Georgia Tech, but it services the entire state. If you're a veteran, it doesn't make a difference what service area you're at or where you're from. We can service you. Vector, a lot of people say, what Vector is fun after kind of, because we're just so used to saying veteran, but it's a Veterans Education and Career Transition Resource Center. So that's what it's for. Now, they can come there and take some classes as well that we have for Vectors. We have a CDL out there, a truck driver. You come out there and do that. We've negotiated and worked with the base where now we actually have housing. If you come in there for a certain program, we'll actually house you while you take the classes there. But it's not just for those taking classes. If you're a veteran and you just want some resources, where do I get loans? How do I take care of finances? How do I get some health issues? How do I find something? You can come there, and we have several different resources that are at that center too, so the veterans can come who are not even thinking about going to school, but they can come there and get the resources that the veterans can have. You're homeless, you need food, you need shelter, whatever those things are. Matter of fact, we have a grant, and 2 of our homeless veteran students will be receiving vehicles here in the next couple of weeks.
Wow.
Now, I can't remember which, I don't want to say the wrong
no, that's okay.
dealership that's providing it, but they're going to receive 2 vehicles as well.
Wow.
So we do a lot for veterans. Colonel Ross, Patricia Ross, runs that program. She does an excellent job.
Right.
We have an excellent team there. And like I said, we have people coming from South Carolina, Texas, all over, Louisiana.
Let me ask you this quickly, because I don't want to forget it. I know it's important. We don't need to leave this out. How can one find out more information about these resources? Be it the high school student, taking dual courses, or a person who needs a job, a person who needs a GED, or a veteran. Because the tentacles reach out so far. So, I know there are people just chomping at the bits. To get more information.
You used to tell folks just to call, but now we're in a world of Google and the internet. You just Central Georgia Tech, centralgatech.edu. That'll take you to our website. That'll take you anywhere. If you want to call, of course, area code 478-988-6800. You call there, just tell them what you want, what you're looking for, and our communication center will get you to that area, that department, that individual, wherever you want to go, or whoever you need to speak to at that time, they'll get you there.
But to get a general overview, and you know, and a whole lot of people your age had it, although you know, are not familiar. But some of us, you know, we are familiar. But my point is that if you not that internet savvy, then you gotta, those kids know it. Let me tell you something.
Oh yeah.
So you got somebody in your family who can give that website again.
CentralGATech.edu.
CentralGATech.edu.
Right.
So go to the website, and if you don't find what you want on the website, if you have a question about what's on the website as it relates to all of these available resources, then you can call this number.
478-988-6800.
This is a call to action.
A call to
I'm
action.
your host, Alex Habersham, just bringing you a whole lot of information from Central Georgia Technical College in the person of Dr. Craig Jackson, who's the Vice President of Student Services.
Student Affairs. Yes.
Student Affairs.
Right.
We really appreciate it, man. We appreciate all the things that Dr. Ivan Allen, I'm going to call his name.
Yes.
I like it too much.
Yeah.
And you and the whole staff and everybody associated with Central Georgia Tech are doing. I really appreciate it, and I have gotten a good overview of all of the great things that you all are doing. Keep up the great work, and those of you out there who need any of those resources, training, students, veterans, GED or what have you, there's a resource for you. Take advantage of it. This is a call to action.
A call to action.
I'm your host, Alex Habersham, having interviewed Dr. Craig Jackson. Have a great day.
Thank you, sir. My pleasure.
Yeah, my pleasure. Hi, this is Alex Habersham. It's that time again. We're in the process of publishing the 2019-2020 edition of the Macon Middle Georgia Black Pages. And I want to encourage everybody, if you're in business or if you've got something that you would like to promote, if you want exposure in the community, then you need to give us a call so we can have your company and or your business in the upcoming edition of the Black Pages, because it's going to be hot. We're going to feature young people in the community who are active in the community, because I think they need the recognition just like you need recognition for your business to generate more business throughout Central Georgia. That's the Macon Middle Georgia Black Pages 1920 edition coming up, 2019-2020 edition coming up real soon. Give us a call at the office, 478-464-0074, and be a part of this edition. Guess what? You cannot afford not to advertise. Call us.